Hey everyone, in our previous video with Olivia, we added a TomTom Map with the TomTom Maps APIs in a Flutter application. In this video, we're going to use the Search API, to be exact, the fuzzy search, to search for addresses or POIs and add them as markers in our map. Let's take a look. Hello, Olivia.
Hey, Jose.
So last time what we did is to add the map in our application, right?
Yeah, we just did the basic map setup.
Yeah, this is the one that we have here. Well, this is not exactly the same because this one is now using the iPhone simulator, which we could not manage to work last time.
Yeah, last time we started with just a simple web app, right? And now we're using the iPhone simulator.
So what we're going to do today is just to add an edit field maybe on the top of the screen, and we're gonna type something and we're gonna search using fuzzy search API, and let's see what we got.
Oh,
maybe
awesome.
we can print it around
and we'll see if we get any POIs back.
Correct. And maybe we can actually display whatever result we have on a map.
Awesome. Okay.
We have a container that is where we put the icon on.
Right.
And we can actually add another container that puts on top of the screen.
Oh, and that will contain our text field most likely.
Yeah. Let me see if I can remember how to do this container. And then of course we have a container, and the container we can add something similar like we have with the other one, like add a padding. I think it's called Edge. It's up there, you can see it. Edge. Insets, and then all edge insets. Maybe we can do similar 20 pixels all around. Maybe 20 is too small.
Yeah, so we're borrowing the dimensions from the TomTom logo below because that's about the height we'd want to have for our free text if we're going to search for our POIs for areas around us, and we'll probably put it toward the top of the screen in the simulator, right?
Things top left.
Yeah, we center
right.
top left. Yeah, so because that's how you would read the input.
Yeah, and then this container will have a text field. Text field.
That's where we'll say search, and perhaps so it's clear or.
Yeah, the text field. As I said, actually we have a text field and like that, for example. And what we do if I fast reload, and you see. It's right now.
So we see the line already. So even then, it's pretty clear. And we have a cursor. We can type things.
Yeah. Of course, we do nothing now.
Yeah. No, it's just a basic text field right now. It doesn't do anything.
So in order to get whatever we type, we have to create a callback or a listener for an event when people submit the data.
Yeah.
I think we have to create on submitted, and then we get a function. And the function, of course, it receives the current string, and what it does. Let's see.
Yeah. So when somebody submits the text, then what's next?
Yeah. For now, we can print it on the screen to make sure that we are receiving the correct value, for example. Yeah. And if I save it, let me see. What's the problem here?
Oh, we didn't reload.
Yeah, I need to save it. So if I start typing, hello, enter, you see.
And we get the text back at least. Yeah, so we know it's being received.
We receive it now. So we're gonna take that string and we're gonna send it to a API call in order to get the whatever fuzzy search results.
Yeah, just what results we get back from the API.
Yeah. So we're gonna let's pass it to a new function. Let's call it get POI or get addresses, for example, addresses, and then we pass the value. Yeah. And as you can see, this method doesn't exist right now. We have to create it somehow. Let's see. Let's create it like get.
Yeah, so we just want to add it in real quick.
Yeah, and we pass the value, of course. Now, if we're going to do this with the TomTom Maps APIs, I think we're going to use the fuzzy search. That means we're going to execute an HTTP request.
Yeah, we want to request to the Search API.
Yes, I think, okay, wait, that I read, let me see if I can remember this. You have to do this, it is a sync. Meaning that this operation will happen asynchronously. So we have to, whenever we call this, whatever is inside will happen asynchronously. Yeah, and I think we also need to install a new library. We have to add a new library for this. Because I don't,
which library will we use?
This? I don't think we did.
Which one?
The HTTP.
I don't think we did.
I don't see it here. No, I don't see it here. I think.
So we've talked about async before on different streams. Let's talk about it again really quickly since we're using it here, I think, for the first time with Flutter.
Well, it's very similar to JavaScript, I think. We have a function that is supposed to have literally on the background on another thread or another task on the and then inside of the method or inside the function we have to actually await for some result to happen. The method or the method that is done between JavaScript and Flutter on Dart, in this case Dart, is quite not the same with JavaScript. But the idea, I found them easier to understand in Dart, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's a topic that should be familiar in JavaScript as well, so it shouldn't theoretically be all too different in Dart, but it's, how is it easier?
Well, I would say just in the way the code is written.
Yeah, it looks similar.
It's more readable.
Yeah, it's more readable.
So I think you have to use this and as HTTP. So that means we're gonna okay, first this is wrong. Package HTTP Dart as HTTP. So we have to make sure that we have it here.
And now we should be able to use get addresses.
Yes. To have the function. The API that we're going to use is in the Explorer. Because Search Explorer, and you get here.
And we can test it out.
And try it out to see how it looks like. Let me just go back to the code. Let's say, so, see, we have a response on this, and then we're gonna go HTTP get, and then I think the new HTTP get, it receive now a URI and receive the query parameters separately, and this is the code that's going to be asynchronous. So that means we have to say await for the result back, and let me see. We have to create a URI, HTTPS. Okay, the authority is always the host name. And let me see, where is that? Our host name. Host name is, as you can see here, I don't know if you can see it, is API.com.
Okay. And so that's what we're taking from the curl example in the documentation.
Yeah. Exactly. So we put it here, API.com. And the second part is the unencoded path, which is the REST. So the REST is coming back. It's supposed to say /search version 2, then search, and then the query.
Pizza.
In this case, pizza, but in our case, is the value that is passing through.
This example actually makes it very easy to construct the response. Yeah. So search to, then search. I don't know. Why to have to search? Maybe because one is the original fuzzy search instead of POI search or category search like we have in the they perhaps API. Just name the same.
And then we're going to pass the value, which is current value, that is the parameter that we have, and I want the result in JSON format. Okay.
So now we have our query.
Yeah, we have oh wait, we need to pass query parameters as well. And I think
that's something that we talked about either while testing or on the last stream, I remember, because it's something we were building to make sure they were they were proper.
Yes. Okay. Let me just organize this a little bit better.
We have to place them into a map kind of thing, right?
In a map.
Yeah, correct.
Let's call it query parameters.
We love maps. Yeah. Both kinds.
Both kind of maps. All kind
exactly.
And then we're gonna create let's create the parameters. So it's a map with string, I suppose. And it's called query parameters. Wait, parameters. And then we're going to initialize it with the most minimum value that we need, which is our API key. Because without that query parameter, the thing will not work.
We have to access the API somehow.
We do not have access to anything. So let's add it here. Let's value key.
And we have our key up there, I see.
Oh, right there. First line. There it is. There it is. So
our stream key, so to speak.
Our stream key. So API.
Not an actual stream key, but the API key we use on streams.
Streams. It's true. Okay, now we have this is not a var.
No.
Constant.
Yeah.
Okay, now we have query parameters. We are passing the query parameters. I think we have to do this. Let's close the function. Now we execute this HTTP GET. The application is waiting. We get a response. By default, the response always comes in JSON format, so maybe we should convert the code, this JSON value that we can back into JSON data. Let's see, call it JSON data, and then just take the response body that we have. What is the name of the function to convert? Convert. I think it's convert.
So we're going to convert it. We're going to store it in
convert
this JSON data.
Oh, here it is. From response, then we have to get from the response the body.
Yep.
And from the body that we have right now, or for now, let's see if we can get anything. Let's print it. Let's see how it looks like. How about that for now? So JSON.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, so we'll get the whole converted response back, and we'll be able to view it then.
On the console right here.
Yeah.
And let me open here. Well, let's see. Let's save.
Let's see what we get back.
And then, okay, let's type. Tell me something. Anything to look for.
Ice cream. It's always a good idea.
Ice cream in Amsterdam.
Hopefully we get a few.
Voila.
There we go. So we see some POIs actually coming up too.
Text, of course, because we are printing the text that we're getting, right? And then we are getting a result with a summary.
And it's quite readable.
Maybe I don't know how to make this like very to beautify this JSON response.
We do want to have it ordered.
Yes. Well, we have it ordered. We don't have it ordered yet, but we can have it biased to our current location.
Yeah.
For example, well, at least I know that the API is working, but we pass it the correct parameters, and we're getting results. Where is the results section? Here it is. It's an array.
Yeah, but there are no specific biases. Like we don't have it biased toward our location yet, do we?
No, it's not biased because it's just searching in Amsterdam because I actually type Amsterdam.
Yeah. So it'll just be biased toward the fuzzy search results. Yeah. Yes.
Let's check the documentation.
Yeah, let's see.
How do you set the bias? Isn't it bias or you just set the Latin long?
I think we could just set the Latin long, right?
Lat and long.
Latin long, yeah.
Lat and long.
Latin lon, I should say, as opposed to long.
LNG, yes.
Yeah, LON, yeah.
Yeah. What else can we set like a bias section? There is also view. This is for search. View opening. Well, I think this will work.
Yeah, I think it should. Because we're just, I was going to say we could search within a radius of set point.
Yeah. Okay, so I know that we have to add new values to our map of query parameters, lat and long, for example.
Yeah, since we're adding 2 new.
Yeah.
And so now we'll have to add them to our query parameter so that when we make the request, that obviously these are part of it.
So we're going to create the latitude and say we're going to pass as a value the query parameters, also the longitude. Yeah. Oh,
yeah, so we're adding these components to the query in this format.
And now we're going to pass these 2 values to the function.
Yeah.
The lat and the long, for example. Now, as you can see, we have to pass these 2 values. They come from here, and this is the value of from our headquarters. For example, it can be like so. Our headquarters is in TomTom HQ. TomTom HQ, and I have 2 parameters. So let's see what is value. First is lat. So TomTom HQ latitude, and then TomTom HQ longitude. So we're passing these 2 parameters, new parameters, latitude and longitude as bias, and I guess we're gonna get values or results biased from this location.
Yeah.
We can check it right here. If we say, for example, now search for ice cream only,
then that means we should only get results close to us. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Because we're passing a double value, and we are saying that the name is a string.
I suspect that that's our new lat and long that we tried to add.
That is correct. So we can do different 2 things. We can actually convert it to a string, or we can actually parameterize. For example, you could say here, give me the person value as a string. For example, let's do reload, and let's see how it looks now. Voila.
Now we have them. So now we have our location-biased ice cream results.
Yes. Only ice cream.
Just ice cream. That's all we really need anyway.
Results. Oh, we're getting actually a full POI.
We have a full POI.
And his name is ice cream and waffles. And we have data as a POI.
So we got phone number, things like that, which we've used in POI-based videos before too. So it's nice to see them familiar, and we have them in Flutter now and for iOS.
Yes. And for now, I'm not interested to, as a developer, you might be interested to display this information many ways. But for this tutorial or this demo, I think we just need to get the lat and long and name perhaps, and just add it as a...
So a simple way to get those POI results just to start with before adding anything else.
Yes. I know that the results are in the field of results inside the JSON data, so at least I can get that for sure. Like for results, so from JSON data, give me the results. Oops, results. Okay, now we have the result, and the result is usually an array. So we can iterate through the array, for example, and present the name and location, and maybe create a marker and add it to the map.
You can organize them a little bit, yeah, for sure.
Exactly. So let's see. Well, this is we have to iterate for what are you gonna call it? Element in the same array of elements, the results.
So as we look through results, do we want to add a marker, for example, to each of them?
No, we're going to create a marker, which is a result, for example, Well, we know the position already. It's inside the...
it's inside the results for each POI,
Yeah, there must be something called position, location,
Yeah, we should be able to get like the lat long.
There it is.
Yeah, there we go.
Here it is.
Yeah.
It's called position from element. So let's say our elements in result, then we're gonna get the position, which from the element give me the position. Right? Now that we have an object, lat and long in this case, maybe we can create a new marker and then add it to the map somehow. So let me see. Let's create a marker. New marker.
Yeah, we want to have a new type of marker, and then we'll be able to place it. And from there, if somebody wants to, they could add something like pop-up windows and things like that to display some of the POI info, which we've done before too.
Yeah. And the marker have a point, which is a new lat and long. And for the position, lat and long, we have to send first the latitude and then the longitude for position. So we have the position right now. I wonder if I can pass. Oh wait, lat and long is receiving the two parameters, latitude and longitude. So I cannot send the object. I have to send exactly one and the other. So it's position. Give me the lat element, the first one, and from the other one, from position, give me the long element or the long field. Now we have a point, and that probably create a marker. Maybe we need to add. I think for the last time we added.
Oh, we want to add marker dimensions.
Yeah. Height. And I'm missing here. Yeah. Now we have created a default marker, 50 by 50. It's a default marker that we have, and it has a point, a location for the marker. Well. Now how do we add it to the map? In order to add it to the map and to be reactive, we need to make sure that the map actually has probably a list of markers. When we created the map, we say, this is the map, this is the URL template to create it from getting the map tiles, and then in here in the marker layer option, we're gonna create a new layer with one marker, which was the headquarters. So that's why we created an initial marker with the TomTom headquarters. And markers in this layer are an array. So you just pass the array, right? Now, because this element is here inside the UI and is created inside the build. Yeah, inside the build. So in the state. That means this value is being taken, is being observed. Like, if I change the initial marker position, the marker will move automatically.
So that's what helps us to update our marker if we want to place it somewhere else.
Yeah. So right now we're pushing only one marker in an array.
Okay.
What we need to probably is just to say something like this, like
perhaps need to create several at once.
Like markers.
Okay.
Make an array of markers, and then create the array of markers and add them
to the ones we indicated. Yeah.
Or add it to the array if we need to. In this case. Gotcha. So let's see if it works like this. It's an experiment. Let's see. We go. I have to check.
That's the fun part.
Yeah. Let's go and check like an array. With an array is like a list. It's iterable. So marker. It's like a list of markers and markers. And we're gonna create an empty list. So list empty. I think it's called. Yeah, empty. And I think I have to pass something to say that it can grow or change. Is it growable? Yeah. Grow. Yeah, perfect. So we create initially an empty array of markers and can grow. So when we create a TomTom headquarters, we create the initial marker. Then we're going to add it. We're going to add this initial marker, which is the headquarters, to our list of markers. Markers add initial marker. So now we have the one element in the marker. And if I am correct, when you reload,
should means we should see.
You still have the
one more marker.
Yeah, no, you still have the marker there.
We still have the one marker, yeah.
Yeah. So I know this created already. So for when we create it, when we do the search and get the results, we are creating a marker, and we're going to add that marker to this array.
Yeah.
So let me see. Where are you? Where are you? Here, we already created this marker. We're iterating about current results. We have the position. We created a marker. We're not using it, but I can say markers at this marker for each
so that's what
result.
We're going to add a new marker each time.
Exactly, for each result. And let's see if I can reload completely the thing. So we have one marker by default, which is the initial marker.
Yeah.
And if we make a search, let's go for ice cream now, and enter, we got the result here. All our results, and we have
our markers failed us.
Very good. Our first error, and I know what it is. we have to add the icon. It doesn't know what is the image.
No icon attached to it. Okay.
There is no icon attached to it.
I see.
Okay, so sorry.
If it doesn't have an image.
Exactly. So you have to say something like, and then the size is not. It's 40.
The size and color to differentiate them.
Yeah, blue. Yeah. Let's see if it goes. And then ice cream. Okay, there it is.
And so now we have our markers showing our ice cream POIs.
Yeah.
Awesome.
How about that?
Yay, so now we can actually see all the POIs that we got from our request, and we have the markers there, and they have a location bias, so that way we know that they're closest to our original point there that we have in the red, right?
Yes, and remember that on the result from the API, we got way more information that you can display on top of the.
Absolutely. So you can create pop-up windows, you can find phone numbers, things like that.
Maybe the next time we can create a smart route to select which one is the closest ice cream location, and
yeah, we can do a sort of ice cream
or something like.
And stop at each one.
Yeah. Well, see you next time, Olivia. Thank you.
See you next time, Jose.